Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
how you doing?
How
How
am I
you
doing?
doing?
I have a question for you. What do men want? What do
Yeah.
they want, for gosh sake? What do they want?
They're like an enigma. Sometimes you
You
don't
know,
know what they want.
you know what's funny is I don't think we can really answer this question, to be honest with you. I think it's a great topic, but I think there are so many different ideas and so many different thoughts. And I'm kind of
Yeah.
hoping some men jump on so they can share with us. But what do men want? It goes, I think it runs the gamut from here to there to up to down to left to right to in to out. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But
Well,
hi, Nina. How you doing? Um,
here's a
uh-oh.
man for you.
Here's a man for us. Hi, Danny. How you
Hey, how's
doing?
it going? Can you guys
Your
hear me?
wish, yep, your wish came true, Helen.
I guess so. I'm going to put it. I want $1 million. Okay, let's see.
Uh,
Oh my gosh, what men want. Hi, Deb. Um, it's such a broad question that I'm going to ask Danny a whole slew of questions. Danny, get comfortable. Um, because what do you first look at when you see a woman? What do you notice first? What do you notice first?
Like me personally? Like,
You're our man. You're it.
you
You're the
know,
man
all
of
right,
the
all
hour.
right.
and don't hold back just because I'm your wife.
I'm all right. Let me jump on the hamster wheel. When I when I first see when I'm looking at a woman, and this is in general. I'll go back to when I was single. Let's look at it that way, right? Or do you want like that kind of a, or do you
Well,
want now in general?
now. Hi,
Okay.
Karen. Hi, Denise. Hi, Deb.
Hi,
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah, that
Um,
was better.
I guess when I look at a woman, all right,
Hmm.
I see. I'm an analyst, so I see how their demeanor is. I see how they treat other people. All right.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I was always a person that personality, their core, how they really are on the inside. Good looks are just a bonus. You can have a beautiful person that has an ugly inner core. That makes them
Very true.
ugly. And the
Uh-huh.
vice versa. You can
Okay.
have somebody that's really sweet and got a really caring inner core, and not have to be attractive or whatever. But
Well, I don't. Okay, don't have to be attractive. Lisa, I don't know. Are you attractive or not? So maybe he just likes you for your personality. I'm just saying.
no, I just listen. I just like won the lotto ticket with Lisa, so
I know. I
Oh,
know. Hey,
that's
you
package.
sweet.
you guys give me hope. All right, because I see the kind of marriage you have, and I see the give and take that you have with one another. But okay, so what do men want? We're going to go through that. But okay, initially, I think men notice a face, a fanny, boobs,
Okay.
legs. They notice something. But how far does that go? Because I think with age that changes, don't you think?
Yeah, I think guys, and there's usually I guess I hate to say this, but a body part that stands out to them. It depends on the guy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You know,
sure.
I was never a chest person. I was always a back end person. You know what I mean? So, um,
Okay.
as
Told
far
you.
as attraction,
Yes,
as
you
far as
did.
attraction, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, guys are. I guess it all comes down to who the guy is, obviously, but
Well,
yeah,
I think initially, because men are visual, we've always heard that men are visual, that they notice um, the physical aspect of a woman first.
yeah,
Okay, especially if in your 20s and your 30s. I think as you get older, you realize that after a while, you might want to cover up that little bit of booty or something that goes flies in the wind or something like that.
yeah.
That it gets a little bit more. Intimate emotionally. And I think that becomes important because let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Um, Danny, how important do you think sex is?
It's
And okay.
it's not it's not a like an end all everything.
No.
I think
Okay.
it's not, it has a lot of attributes to it. It has a lot of benefits for both the partners.
Okay.
But as far as I think as you get older, for a guy, it
Mm-hmm.
tends to be, it's not that important as it was when you're in your 20s and you're going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
at this age, it's like it's more intimate. It's more um, timing and everything else. You
Mm-hmm.
prioritize things. Again, it doesn't have to be everything. You go in spurts at this age.
Okay.
Every now and then you could be 22 for a couple of weeks, and then you're like, I want to be 80 now for a month.
Well,
It's
sure.
yeah. It's attraction is important. I mean, sex is a beautiful thing. So,
Oh, absolutely. But with what men want, when I've asked this question, just generally, when I been out with my male friends and stuff like that, inevitably somebody will say sex, or they'll go off on some other kind of little bit of a vulgar tangent and stuff like that. And I feel like that's almost a defense mechanism. And instead of them saying something like, I want to feel safe with somebody. I want somebody I can rely on. I want somebody that can nurture me. I want to see if it's somebody I can build a life with. I feel like men are not really willing to be vulnerable. They have to put up that, I know this word is an old word, but almost macho attitude sometimes when I would say, well, what do you want? What do you want? Oh, I want sex. I want more sex. I want crazy sex, all this other stuff. And, I think that just kind of, I think it's a defense mechanism sometimes when guys say that. What do you think?
I guess some guys. I mean, I got to speak in general. I mean, some guys are afraid to commit, so they're going to make excuses. They're going to be. It's hard for me because for me, I'm different than a lot of other guys. Okay,
I think so. Mm-hmm.
But I also know how other guys think. Being a guy,
Yeah. Okay.
So I think guys in general afraid to commit. They don't know what they want. They, for me personally, for myself, I've gone through a lot. I've loved a lot of women in my life. I've had relationships, a lot of long-term relationships. So I've always learned what I didn't. It's not necessarily of finding out what you want. It's finding out what you don't want. And then every relationship going on and on and on, you find, all right, well, I know I don't want that no more. And then before you know it,
you learn.
You learn and you know what you don't want. And as you get older, you just don't want to waste time anymore.
Well, okay. What Debbie says is, do men want a confident woman or they don't want a strong woman? Hi,
No,
Donna.
confident.
Hi, Lisa. Lisa says, Deb. Lisa Pace. Gaffney says, hi, Lisa. Deb, they're afraid of strong women. And Debbie says, I think you could be right. They are intimidated. I think sometimes what men want, and I think we've grown up in U.S. society, is men have to be strong, and women have to be somewhat subservient. And in the research that I was doing, that traits that men look for, there was one from 2010 and one from 2023, and they're kind of like good looks. Good in 2010, good looks was up high. In 2023, it went down a little bit more. It seems like men, and Lisa, you jump in here. Do you think men are willing to be more vulnerable now? And with Danny, I think, Danny, I think you're an enigma that you're willing to be vulnerable. And I mean that as a compliment. But Lisa, do you think men are willing to be more vulnerable in 2023? Happy birthday, Jace. And
yes, happy birthday,
happy birthday,
Jace. I didn't even know it was your
happy
birthday.
Jace.
So sorry. I think it has to do with age. I think the younger men are immature.
Yeah.
As people
Okay.
age, as men age, they want different things. I think they like, and it's a turn on for their partner to be a strong woman and have a strong mind.
Very attractive, confident women. That's confidence. Very, very attractive.
Has anybody seen The Golden Bachelor? In the comments, please tell me you have, because I was just telling Lisa about The Golden Bachelor. Danny, have you heard about this?
No. What's that? What is that?
Do you guys watch TV? You're killing me. Okay. Okay.
Google
Okay.
shut one of my screens.
You're gonna. We should
Okay.
watch it. You're gonna like it. It's right up our alley.
Okay. Donna's watched it. Thank you, Donna. Debbie. Yeah, Debbie says, where are all those men? This is what I'm talking about. Okay. For The Bachelor, you've all heard of The Bachelor show, The Bachelorette show.
Yeah.
Well, the Golden Bachelor is in his 70s. And now he is a widower and he is dating this whole group of women from 60, I think mid 60s to up to 75 for him to meet his new life partner. And he has talked about, I think he said it, or maybe this is coming up in my mind. I'm not 100% sure, but he said the boom boom room where they go off for the evening and, get to know each other physically. And he said that's the intimacy for the younger people, those whippersnappers, and those, and for him, the intimacy is more about getting to know somebody. And hey, Joanne, hi Joanne, how you doing? But I think it's really refreshing because the boomers, we want love too, because I know you guys are Gen X. I am not. But what makes a man want a woman at an older age as compared to a younger age? What's the real difference? What makes the difference? I know I asked this a little bit differently before, but what makes the difference? What makes it?
I think
I don't.
Do you want me to answer? I think
Go
it's
ahead, Danny, then Lisa, because
Yeah,
Lisa, you got to jump in. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's experience. It just just knowing what you want, knowing what you don't want. As you get older, you're just not going to settle. When you're younger, you don't know what the heck you want. You just go with the flow, and you think you know what you want. Then you find out 27 times in a row that's not what you want, and then you're like, well, now I know what I want. And I think it's just experience and time, and experiencing relationships.
Lisa says they want their mothers.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. Or sugar daddy.
And I think it's a generational thing too. No, go ahead.
I think that when they're older, they want somebody to go for walks with, go to a hotel, bond, like just do fun, cool things at that
Partner.
age as a partner in life, grow old with somebody, talk, do silly things, when they're that age, and not like all the sex, 20s, 30s, and 40s. Like when you're in your 70s and 80s, you just want somebody to spend some time with and laugh with and enjoy your, go to the movies.
There's no expectations. See, when you're younger, as a guy, when you're younger, and you first meet somebody, it's the best it's ever going to be at that moment. That it's downhill because you have expectations that after 5 minutes, it's downhill from there. Because you build it up to something that it's not. And comes with lack of experience, not knowing what you really want. You just think you know what you want. And I think when you get older, you get, I don't want to say the word acceptance. That's not the right word. It's just you get more settled in. It's you really figure out what's important.
But I think it's not just about your partner. I think men, and of course I'm not a man, and you can correct me, Danny.
I hope so.
You can correct me, Danny. But I think as we age, like we're 50 now, right? So what you want is slightly different. You want good health. You want your success. You want to share that with your partner. You want to share that with me. We build a life together. I think most men want that. No.
Yes, and we've got some really great comments that came in. Heather says, I feel like men get too comfortable once they get their woman. Anna, hi, Anna. She says it's hard to find men that are still chivalrous. And I'm going to get into that in a second. Denise says sex can still be good, just different, more intimate. Viagra. And Anna says, guys my age need to be reminded what chivalry is. They are so immature. Yeah, and where does that come from? Because I've heard on, I told you guys on Facebook, I'm on 2 single sites, and it's the 40s plus and the 50s plus singles group, but it's not dating groups, just people to, get together that are single, that, either their kids are grown or, they're divorced, whatever, kids are out of the house, and they have something to do with other people. But it seems that everything, we're going to talk about online dating somewhere down the line, I think in a few weeks, but why does it happen that they're so immature Anna, I know you're young. I think you're in your late 20s, I think, or mid 20s, I don't remember, but guys my age need to be, yeah, I agree with you there. So
what is the Anna, what is the age group, if you don't mind sharing?
I think she means it's any age group. Like, it doesn't.
Well, I've seen stuff, my age, and it's just like, what did you just say? Or what are you just saying? Late 20s. That's what I thought.
Oh,
yeah.
Danny was a
Okay.
man in his late 20s. Maybe you can elaborate on that a little bit.
I think there's guys when they're with their friends or with their clique, they're never going to act like their truth selves ever. It's just when you're in your 20s. I mean, you got the old say, you got to rep to protect, right? You're going to act differently in front of your friends than when you're alone. All right, and it's unfortunate. It's just when a girl has when it comes to a point where you can both share alone time and really get to know how somebody ticks. I think that's really important. Immaturity at that age, I mean, it's just masking. It's just they're hiding who they really are, and then they think that's a cool thing to do. Maybe macho, like you said earlier before. It's just.
I will say, when Danny and I first started dating, getting together, and doing our thing, you were never afraid to show anybody your feelings.
No. Nope.
I think, Danny, I really do think you are a rare breed. I really do. Let me get some spit so I can clone him or something like that. Just saying.
And Heather, I tell you, if something, God forbid, happened here, I'm with you. I wouldn't be doing it anymore either.
And what Anna said too, generation believes there's more friends. That is a lot in younger groups, like younger age frames is more friends with benefits, and that really diminishes relationships then too, because what you think you need at that age, you can just go out and you get a buddy, you get a F buddy, I should say. That's a lot. That's something. Sure. I mean, when I was young in my 20s, I had those. But I think it's more mainstream now. And I also think guys are different now. It's generational, because when we were kids, we didn't have all these devices now. I didn't, swipe right. You could just date somebody just by clicking a button on a phone, meet them in a bar in an hour. Things are very, very, very different now. So I think technology has I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Depleted. That chase and everything else, I guess. I don't know.
Do men want a woman who is industrious and ambitious, or do they want somebody that, we're talking about relationships here, perhaps leading to marriage, or do they want somebody to be at home and cook and clean and do all this? Lisa, I know you do all that. I couldn't do it on a dime, but I know you work with Danny, and then you cook, and I'm so impressed that you cook. We were talking about that.
Hey, I cook,
Oh, what do you make? Toast? I mean, what do you do? What do you make?
Lisa,
what do you make?
Me?
He is. I will say. All right. So
really?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. It hasn't come up before.
Okay.
So Danny does make me breakfast every single morning, and he has for probably over a year now, since we've been living here. Yeah. He makes the best breakfast, avocado, the best omelet. I mean, I cook too, sometimes you do lunch. Do you do lunch? Sometimes,
Danny,
you do lunch.
I owe you an apology.
I was just being funny before, but no,
I know, but whoa, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
I make a sauce, I'm a Mick that makes a sauce,
Wow. I'm really beyond. All right. I just
Let's
want a
get
couple
back
of
on
hair.
topic. Sorry.
I just want your hair. That's just send the hair through the mail. Okay. We'll work on that. Anna says, I think men feel threatened when a woman is ambitious and industrious. Well, at least the guys that I've dated. I think that happens to be the case again, with, men in their 20s or in their 30s. I think that could be a problem, but they don't want somebody who's going to say, hey, sugar daddy, give me some money,
Here's the thing.
so
this is my belief with that. All right,
okay.
guys that are afraid of an ambitious woman has some serious self-insecurity issues. All right, if you, how could you not? I mean, I think it's the biggest turn on when I see a woman just kicking ass, being successful. I mean, just applaud them. I never understood why I see it a lot. I never understand why guys get all like jammed up when their girl is just kicking ass.
Do you feel that demasculinizes them? Do you
What's
feel
that?
that they
Emasculates?
I
Yeah.
think it's a head thing. It's just an insecurity, or they're afraid they're not going to get the praise. They feel demeaned, that's their problem. That's not. I mean, that should never be the woman's problem. That is just absurd to me. How if you care about somebody and you love them, and they're kicking ass in life and running circles around people, how could you not be on top of the hill with a bullhorn being their biggest cheerleader? I just don't understand that.
Well, I think Anna's hitting the nail on the head that, sometimes women feel threatened, especially with that. And Anna says, yes, Danny. Yeah. There you go.
There we go.
Like Arnold said, there's a lot of girly men out there. And I don't mean that bad by the girls either.
Now, I want to touch what Heather said before. Ray doesn't show affection easily. Do you talk about that? Do you have like conversations? If you don't mind sharing, Heather, a little bit more about that. Because I think it's nice equally, when you have that partnership, even though it's what men want, but it goes hand in hand, a woman and a man being on the same page with one another. I think I would think, again, you're the man, Danny. That's what men want. I told you earlier before the show, I think I know what men want, even though I'm not a man.
Well, okay. We got some good comments again. Lisa says, men need to be needed. Strong women don't need men to do for them, and men feel lesser, sadly. I agree. I read this book years ago. I think Men Are from Mars and Women Are from Venus. And the bottom line of what I got out of the book is men need to be told they're appreciated and admired. And women need to be reassured and need reassurance. And I do agree with that. And when the two, the two twains meet where they do that for one another, it seems to make the relationships flow, because I've done that. And I can tell how, at the time when I was dating the person, that it was greatly appreciated. But Heather says, okay, so you fight about it with your person. That's
Do you want a man's perspective? Do you want Danny's perspective on that, Heather? If Danny has one, as I'm putting him on the spot.
No, that's okay.
That's what we're here for. Put Danny on the spot.
No, what was I going to say? I'll answer Heather in a second, but what I was going to go reiterate with you guys is when you have a man that works his ass off and sacrifices for his family, they absolutely, I don't want to say they need to hear it, like, you're doing a good job, or appreciation is a huge deal to a guy. Okay, when not feeling appreciated, and I don't think just with a guy, but this is the topic of the show. Not being appreciated is one of the worst things a guy could feel. when they're going up and getting up every day and working their ass off, without a doubt. So women out there, that if the man's out doing their thing and working their ass off, sometimes we just get in this habit of just going through life and just blah, 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 blah. Show your man appreciation. And they should also be showing you. But I think that's the biggest thing, I think, that could be a downfall to a relationship, is when a guy doesn't get appreciated for working hard. And it works both ways. I'm not being one-sided here, but it is the name of the show.
Yeah. No, that's fun. I think.
Well,
you
I
know,
guess we could say the Danny Show.
No, I don't know that.
I'm
I'm
teasing you.
Yeah.
No, that's important, and I think that I enjoy being able to express that. I think that sometimes, like you said, in the hustle and bustle, I think, especially two people are working, they're going outside of the home in different places to work, and they're coming home, they're both exhausted. We're the exception. There's not many people that could do what we do on a daily basis and still actually like each other at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we have an opportunity more than most people do. But I think that's where it gets lost. People go out, they're working all day, maybe they have young children, and they do forget to tell each other how much they appreciate each other.
Well, how important do you think it is that men and women, they need empathy and to be able to talk to one another? I mean, how important is empathy in a relationship? How important is that?
Well, as far as understanding what the other person's going through.
Yeah,
I think
exactly right.
That comes down to communication, which is the backbone of the relationship anyway. I mean, you have to communicate. One thing that my father always told me decades ago was, you can't read people's minds. So don't think you know what they're thinking, because you'll be wrong 90% of the time. So I think communication is really, really important. Really, really important. That'll extinguish many arguments. That'll extinguish any 90% of all the BS in a relationship that falters a relationship is communication, lack of communication. So being empathetic is understanding their situation. How do you do that? By communicating. All right. You can't just assume, because it makes an ass out of you and me. So it's communication is really, really key. Guys, me personally, I love communicating. I tell Lisa all the time. I mean, communication, we have to communicate. Yeah. I'm big on that. I'm big on, if you got a problem, just spit it out. We'll figure it out and laugh in about 5 minutes and walk, and just do our thing.
Yeah.
But, having empathy is really, really important. I mean, in life, not just in a relationship, just being empathetic. So if you have that quality, then I think in a relationship, it's based off communication, though. Yeah.
How important is self-awareness?
Very.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Awareness. Yeah. Just, when you respond, accountability, self-awareness, accountability, that, knowing when you do something wrong and owning it, self-awareness. And I think that's extremely important. Accountability. I've always put myself in a position I'm over accountable. See, when I give people an opportunity and they do me wrong, it's not their fault. I gave them that opportunity. I take full responsibility. So I'm accountable for that. Not just an example. All right. So self-awareness is, I don't ever point the finger at anybody else.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's just accountability is really, really important. And ultimately, choices have consequences, whether good, bad, or indifferent.
Now, self-awareness is important, and all that, everything you said, I agree 100%. But if you, whether it be the man or the woman, do something you don't even realize you're doing, it's important to have the communication on the other side, saying, hey, this didn't make me feel good, because the person may not even be aware of what they're doing. So sometimes self-awareness is great, but sometimes you're not even aware that you did something to upset somebody else.
That's true.
That's where the communication would come in. I love what Donna said. My grandfather always said making love starts at the breakfast table.
Well, there you have it, Danny Ray. There you go.
In an omelet, baby.
I'm telling you. I love that. I think that's great.
And now, Joe, I'm so glad you're here, by the way. Welcome.
Hi, Joe. Where I can't see over there. Okay. Maybe I did. LOL. It's so true. Good advice. I love that. Oh, that's Lisa talking. Okay. Sorry, Lisa. That was you
I want to
talking.
circle
Okay.
back to Heather.
Yeah.
Okay. Circle back to Heather.
All right. So what was the something about affection, right? Lack of or
Wait, hold on.
Well, he shows affection to his daughter, but not so much. I think to Heather, probably in a public forum. I'm saying,
like holding
so
hands
he
kind of
doesn't
thing,
show it.
arm around you, walking
Yeah.
into a store, stuff like that. You know, I would.
Does he show he loves you in other ways, Heather? Though, does he? Because some people, I dated a guy who. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's a toughie. That's a toughie. I'm hard pressed only when you're alone. Okay. So, when I was dating this guy, he wasn't one for holding hands and stuff like that, public displays of expression, but yet he did very nice things for me. And, if I had a problem at my house, he would be there in a second and that kind of stuff. But if he's not comfortable with it, sometimes you just got to compromise, and that's who he is. I would say it would make me very happy if he would hold my hand, but what are you going to do? So
I mean,
he says it's a Puerto Rican thing,
and I'm gonna touch on that too, the Puerto Rican thing. Latino are very, very, very family oriented. So the whole father daughter thing, I get that. You know what I mean? They're very affectionate. I wouldn't use that as a good comparison. And sometimes there are people out there that just don't, they don't do public affection. So what I would do is you have to do sometimes you got to do something where you make them sort of mentally chase you, okay, by not giving it. All right. Make them want to. All right. Now there's a question when you walk into a store, are you grabbing his hand? Or you constantly don't do that. Do the complete opposite. And it's not really a game, but it's going to spur him to do it. This is my opinion. Instead of just wondering why, say, okay, I'm going to make him put action to this, by just making it not a big deal. And then he'll come around. All right. That's how I would approach it, because it's a very, you're going, why don't you show me affection? And then it's sort of like a button heads kind of thing going to happen, right? What do you mean? It's just the way I am. And then you're not getting anywhere, you're spinning your wheels in the mud. So what I would do is I would just completely just do the complete opposite what you would want to do. And then have him, I mean, that's just, that's my opinion,
Heather.
I have something to say about, well, this is just me and that's the way I am. I've always thought that was a poor excuse for bad behavior, because if it's hurting the other person, then it's just bad behavior.
You're absolutely
and you're not
right.
taking your feelings into consideration.
But why put yourself in a position to hear that? Extinguish it right off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of because that conversation is going to spur that response. What's the point? Then you can look at it this way. Then it might upset you more than before it's a full blown fight over something that something that you could probably do and get what you want. Yeah. Based off of just a different approach with very stern discipline.
Yeah. Well, Heather says, I will try. Yes, we fight constantly about it. It definitely hurts to hear this is how he is, and he isn't going to change. Then this could be an ouch too then, Heather, but maybe you have some things to think about,
Yeah.
I want to say, Heather, I got to tell you, thank you. And I appreciate, and I'm sure I'm speaking for Danny and Helen at the same time, and everybody, thank you for sharing that, because I would imagine this is not hard, not easy to share. And the fact that you did, I'm here off air too, if you need to talk. Okay.
Yeah, Anna says it makes a lot of sense too. It's what I meant about the Puerto Rican thing is the family unit. How close they are. So with the daughter, being so affectionate with the daughter, that's something that's usually, But what you're saying right there is, Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not a big affectionate outside that, That's
Yeah.
what Anna said makes sense. Completely makes sense, And
So,
sometimes you just got to accept people you can't change people, if that's the way they are. Again, I think just doing in that little cat and mouse kind of thing and making them that would just be a different unorthodox approach that might work.
And think about also, I mean, all the other things like, how you spend time together. I mean, if you're enjoying each other's times, you're doing things, you're going out, you're having fun.
mhm.
Or is it just, like the open affection in public? If everything else, I mean, I don't know. Everybody has their own thing and what they can live with and what they can't live with. I think that's really where you really need to be, unfortunately,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
When I was younger, I thought it was very important to have a fit, skinny body. And I thought that's all men wanted was a fit, skinny body. And I never got that skinny body. I'm pretty fit, but I never ever got that skinny body. How important do you think that is? Is
Well,
that men want a fit body, tight, taut, everything up,
I
nothing,
think
nothing's
whatever.
going south or anything like that. How important is that?
first you need to give them something to hold on to. All right, I got
Well,
plenty for Danny to grab.
me
Well,
too.
I think it's more of the ability of them doing things to take care of themselves. Now,
Hmm.
it's not necessarily being skinny and in shape, but are they putting the effort that do they love themselves enough to work on themselves? All right,
Hmm.
that's sexy to me. That's
Yes.
attractive to me when I see
Hmm.
somebody really caring about themselves to a point where they are
Hmm.
really putting action to it.
Okay.
Than to just say, "Oh, I just want that's." Listen, I don't want to be with somebody who eats a slice of bread every day. Eat a freaking steak, man. Don't be chewing on one salad leaf
I
when we're
love
sitting
you,
at the
Dan.
table.
I love you,
Come on.
Danny.
I want to see you. I want to chow down with you. Come on now, let's walk out of there with our
Okay.
bellies hanging out. So it's
I love you.
yeah, it's with a skinny thing. It's like, at least how many times have I said, "Wow, she needs to eat a loaf of bread."
Yeah,
I
I'll
say
tell you
that a
this.
lot about people.
Danny and I both look at other women.
Yeah.
I look at other
I'll
women.
point at a
Yeah,
girl and be like,
we
babe,
do.
look at that girl's ass. It looks good, right?
Yeah,
Well, nice
and
ass you've had. We have
I
kind of we're like that. We just it's
yeah.
funny.
I'll see
Okay.
something on the Instagram or wherever,
Yeah.
Facebook, whatever. Be look. I want to look like
She
this.
I'll
Like,
bet
look,
she
she's
does
got a
squats.
nice butt.
How many
Yeah.
squats a day do you think she does? We laugh.
Um,
We
but
so
I think most I don't. I was a little preoccupied when you answered all of that before, Danny.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. But I think men want women who take care of themselves.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter if they have a little extra
Yeah.
poundage.
No.
If they just they take care of themselves,
Hmm.
they're
I agree.
maintained. They're not like in their pajamas for 18
Yeah.
days in a
Have a
row
nice
and not
balance.
showered.
Yeah.
I think men like that. They want to see, you take care of yourself. You wash your face, take a
Oh my
shower.
God. Brush your teeth. Okay. Just
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
that's pretty. Okay. Anna says men nowadays like fit women with a thick bottom, if you know what I mean. Yes, I do, sister. Thank you. And then the next one is my
Yeah.
son told us once he liked girls with big bottoms. The wider the chassis, the better the ride. Woo! I'm
Again,
loving that.
I was always a butt guy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yep.
I
I
know
got
which
that.
ones do squats and I know which ones don't.
Okay,
And you
there you
know
go,
which ones that
darling.
Let me
haven't
tell
done
you
them in
something.
a
You women
while.
got it made because all you have to do to stay in shape is do squats. That's all
Listen
you
to
got to
him,
do.
ladies.
That's all you got to do is
I
Yeah.
do
squats.
squats
That's all you have
every
to do.
day.
That's all
Yes,
you got to do.
that's too funny.
Squats.
I love that. Now, what about sociability? Do men want somebody who's social or somebody who's, a couch potato? Because there are male couch potatoes that say, "Hey, I'm happy to stay in night after night" or something like that. But social, um, social. I can't say the word social. Okay.
Socialite?
No, social
That's
ability
something else.
and I know, and confidence. How important is confidence? Because some immature men might want to tear down a woman and have her just be arm candy on her arm and say, "Yes, dear, whatever you say, dear." And then there are some men who, like you, Danny, you want somebody that's like my partner, my equal, which I know Lisa is.
One who has a mouth.
Yeah, I never
Mhm.
like socially. I mean, I want the
That's
person.
important.
Yeah, I want the person I'm with to be themselves.
Hmm.
No excuses, no regrets. Just be you. I tell that to
How
everybody. Just be
how
yourself.
important are values? How important are values? Suppose you met somebody you really really like, but they had different values than you, because
Well,
men want somebody who think like them. So what would you do?
like what kind of? Well, that's a very big spectrum. What kind of values? Like
Okay.
it's
I'm in credit card debt. I love spending money. Will I save my money?
Mm.
I love to travel. I like to stay home. How
oh
about if
well,
somebody was? How about if somebody was a bigot, and you weren't a bigot? So how would that
Mm.
work? Although you really love
To the curb.
you love this person.
the
There you
most
go. Okay.
unattractive thing in the world would be that I could never see
Well,
myself.
I was. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's a good example, but no, like somebody that's like say if I was a couch, see, I'm a very spontaneous person, so
Mm-hmm.
you can get a rise out of me. Just let's go to Lowe's, little stuff like that. So no, if they're a traveler and then you're basically a home, an introvert, something like that, you got to meet in the middle. You gotta respect.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta meet in the middle. It can't be a relationship
Mm-hmm.
50-50. Sometimes they're 80-20. Sometimes they're 70-30.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
whenever
Okay.
sometimes you got to pick up the slack. So the way that I would, that's how I am. I would be no. Let's do what you want to do today. I want them. I would never like smother. No, you got to do this. Nope. Got to do this. Got to do this. Nope. No, I would like. Oh, let's
Yeah.
do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm open.
Now,
Donna, I
go
want
ahead.
a man with a really, really big 401k.
Why not? Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I have a question for Anna. Bye. What if the man doesn't meet my needs? What kind of needs do you mean? Um, and also, Deb Phillips says, nowadays you want a man with good health insurance. Well, that's right. That's for
Yep.
sure. But I'd love to hear from Anna. Meet you, what kind of needs? Because he has needs that need to be met. What would your needs be? We should do what women want. Wow, I'm a brain surgeon. We need to do a show what women want. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
you gotta be by. What Anna said. Yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
mhm,
and a minute wasted is a minute lost.
absolutely.
If you there's red flags in the beginning of the relationship, there's so many red flags,
Mhm,
and don't think you need to have a relationship. See ya, have a nice day. Because when you do that, God's not going to put the right person in your path.
I
That's
agree.
just the way I believe. I believe that the meet the right person in the world. I think everybody's got that one person in the world that is meant for you. And because of, and I don't want to get into religious or anything like that, but this is my belief. All right. Our free will messes
Mhm,
everything up. We think we want something, then we find out we don't want it. So if you're in a relationship and there's red flags in the beginning,
mhm.
it's not getting better ever.
I agree.
Got to kick it
I
to the curb,
agree.
cut your losses, move on. That's just my opinion.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yep.
I got that. Look at that. We've got a crew here. Okay. Deb said, all right. Anna put me on the spot. Oh, I did not put you on the spot, Anna. Speak the truth. That's what you did. There was one more thing I was going to say. All right. I'm looking at my notes over here. Danny. Um, thank you for being our number one man tonight and
Yeah.
for sharing everything. But now I want to know the number one thing that you want in a woman. What's the number one most important thing, non-negotiable thing you want in a woman
To
or
love
have
them,
in a woman since she's right there anyway?
to,
But what's
to,
the number one thing?
to love
Number
themselves, care about themselves, be a kind person. I mean, yeah. I mean, how could you? That's really not. I mean, I'm not saying that because Lisa's on here either. It's just when I look at an attractive thing to me is somebody that really cares about themselves. and they take care of themselves, mind, body, soul. And again, they don't need to have abs. They don't need to be a gym rat, but just eat, eat right.
Score.
Don't eat 25 bags of chips a day, sitting on the couch not showering for 4 days, stuff like that. Just
Okay.
care about yourself. Number one thing,
Number one thing,
I would have to be caring, and that's a spectrum, inner and outer. Just giving a crap about people and themselves. That's the biggest thing with me. So
somebody that loves themselves.
Yeah.
Because that encompasses a lot too.
Well, loving themselves, that's not in a conceited way. Like there's a difference between conceited and confidence, right?
Yes.
There's a very big difference. And unfortunately, there's a fine line in some cases, depending on who you ask. But somebody that's kind of like this really cares about themselves, not worried about what other people think. It's none of their business. Anybody thinks about me, it's none of my business. That's their problem. Just somebody that's confident. That's somebody, caring, confident about themselves, just knows how to take adversity. So again, that comes all in that one part of just caring about yourself. Overcoming challenges that come up in life. Not, challenge comes and they're in a corner somewhere like, oh my God, what do I do? I want battle tested. I want somebody that has chinks in their armor.
That I love. Yes.
You know what I mean? Somebody that's experienced life. That's really life. Hurt and just sadness, and that's life right there. That's what you experience to get on the other side of that. That to me is so special when life kicks you in the face, stomps on you, and you get up and you do this and you move forward. And I could go on and on and on about that subject. That's the stuff I really admire and have a tremendous amount of admiration for, is when people bounce back when life just kicks them in the face.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I forgot the topic.
No, that's okay. You know what? I think a lot of times what we do is we start with this, but the conversation just flows, and it's just like wherever it goes, it goes. I mean, what men want, I think we pretty much hit a lot of it of what they want. And I think it's very possible for them to get it if they're willing to be vulnerable and honest like you are, Danny. I think a lot of men struggle with that because, again, we've been raised in a society where it's like, we got to be strong, we got to be tough, we got to hide our feelings, and we can't show our vulnerable side. Otherwise, we're going to look weak to the rest of the world.
Well, what I think about that is, there's nothing wrong with showing you who you really are. I expect people to really like you if they don't even know you.
I agree.
And
you can't pretend.
No, you just I'm an open book. I cry during movies. You put Jerry Maguire on right now, I'll cry at You Complete Me. I'll be crying. So I'm a mush. I'm an emotional person. But
don't watch America's Got Talent.
Oh man,
I've heard about you with America's Got Talent.
Yeah,
okay.
Putriani Ariani. If I watch her right now, I cry. No,
oh my God.
I can't even watch her.
Wow, you big baby.
Makes my soul breathe.
Just kidding.
No, all
right.
That's okay. It's all right. But just be yourself. You gotta be yourself.
Anna says, can we all say a prayer for a single lady to fight the right man? I'm just kidding. Or am I? No, we're not kidding. We'll find him when the timing is right. We'll find him. It's all about the timing.
Here's how you find the right person. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. I mean, just care about yourself strong-heartedly. Don't worry, that person will find you. Eliminate the assholes in life. Sorry. Get rid of the people in your life that are not adding but subtracting. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. And that person you'll trip over that person. Walking into
now, Anna just said, now she's my millennial here, and she says, I cry watching The Golden Bachelor. I'm an old soul.
Yeah.
You too would cry. I will tell you, you will when you watch it. It really is great. And Deb Phillips says, I was fortunate to have a Danny too. I understand the worth. Kudos to you. Yes. Debbie had a wonderful husband. And she lost him to colon cancer years ago. He was a great guy. Sorry. I knew them. I grew up with Debbie. So, and Steve, and sounds like a plan. Okay. What sounds like a plan, Karen? Because I just lost myself for a moment. What sounds like a plan, Karen? Type it up. Let me know. I'm a professional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You want to know something? The good thing about this stuff is, like I said, the conversation just flows where it goes, where it goes, it goes. And the good part is, or the great part is, it's really great conversation. And we always learn something, especially when Danny jumps on, you know, because I think he's one of the most honest men I've ever met. And I really do want that hair sample in the mail. I'm not kidding. Anyway, send me that sample.
I'll send it. I'll send it.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about next week? I forgot.
It is. Oh. Can opposites attract?
Okay.
That might be a good topic for Danny to join us too.
So now I got Poor Abdul's song in my head. Thanks a lot.
Okay, you're welcome.
2 steps forward. No.
Oh no, don't do that. You know, I'll be lying in bed tonight and I'm gonna text you guys to say, I hope you're awake now, because I'm gonna call you. Anna says Helen understands me. That's my homegirl, miss you. I miss you too, Anna. I do too. But next week it's Can Opposites Attract? This ought to be a good one, because I'm on both sides of the fence on that one. Yes, they can, and no, they cannot. So I'm going to be a little bit. I'll wear something down. I'll wear something split down. This side, yes. This side, no. So that ought to be interesting. And what else, Lisa? What else we got?
If you all have topics that you would like to talk about, you can email us at lisahelenpodcast@gmail.com. Let's not forget Jace. Jace, happy birthday to you. I didn't even see it pop up on the Facebook that it was your birthday today. So I don't know. Are you hiding from your birthday? We'll discuss that another day. But Jace is our producer. So if you need a producer, go to, I always forget it. Jace, the producer, or producer Jace?
Producerjace.com.
Yep.
Jace is spelled Jayce, just so you know.
And you can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public.
Yes.
Again, if we want more topics, I have a list of topics on our Facebook page that we're going to be talking about. It's a list. It's a calendar list all the way up to the end of November. I think I did.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, you did.
But, you know, if there's a topic that somebody wants us to talk about, please send that in an email to us.
Yes.
And Heather jumped off. And again, I think that was very brave of her. I'll talk to her on the other side of this, and hope that she's okay. So I thank her for sharing. That was probably very, very hard.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Deb, great show. Anna, I'll see you next week. We'll see you all next week. Thank you very much. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Ooh.